All right, let's do this. Okay. Uh, Welcome everyone to the second installment of the Fusion podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Bacon, and joining me today is the president of the previous year of Fusion, Sami Alakhras. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Sammy, as you probably know. I was Fusion's president from 2019 to 2020, and I'm an alumni now. I graduated with a political science degree, um, and yeah,
Yeah.
real life isn't fun.
Life right now is pretty, it's not the best, to put it lightly, but
Not the best.
not the best. 2020 kind of lowballing, but yeah, so as we like to do in Fusion, we like doing some icebreakers. So the icebreaker question I have for you today is what since you told me that you were kind of a coffee addict, I was wondering what's your go-to coffee order, and if you have a specific place you go to for it.
Mm. Okay, so first of all, I love that oat milk is popular now because oat milk and coffee is supreme.
Oh, I need
It's
to try
like
it.
top tier. If you don't like oat milk, I don't like you. But I really like strong coffees,
Okay.
like like blonde roasts at a lot of these like coffee shops are like super powerful,
Mm,
and it's like it's hard drugs basically.
I see. I see.
Uh, Probably my favorite like coffee shop. There's a coffee shop in I think the city of La Palma by where I live called Kashi Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's only open during the weekdays. It's like a family owned small business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I like going to different coffee shops around where I live. It makes me spend so much money.
Oh no. As someone who is trying to get my taste, or someone who wants to get their taste buds akin to coffee, I understand. Coffee is really expensive. But yeah, strong coffee, helps you with the grind. Haha, like coffee.
uh,
But
Literally.
I know how to. My bad. Anyway,
Oh,
let it. Let us move on to the first question I have for you today, which is you talked about how you switched majors a bunch of times within your time at UCI. So I was wondering if you had any advice for switching majors. When's the right time to do it, or like if people should do it?
yeah. I mean, I definitely don't recommend switching unless you really have to or you really want to, switching majors from different schools, because you have to like comply with different schools' like grade regulations and stuff like that and guidelines. But I think, like I told you, I switched from. I originally came into UCI as an undeclared,
Hmm.
trying to get into computer engineering, but you know my GPA was way too low.
Okay.
uh, so I had to go try to become a business econ, and
Hmm.
then I eventually settled on political science,
Hmm.
and I ended up liking it,
Okay.
and thankfully I ended up graduating with it too.
Hmm.
Um, but your question was what are some advice? I
Yeah.
would say, like, don't delay your switch to a major. So if you really want to switch your major and you always think about it, then just do it.
Hmm.
um, because the longer you delay it, the harder it is going to be to graduate. You're probably going to take a fifth year, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see that because when I switched. Thank God I made my decision by the end of my first year, so I still had time to
Oh yeah,
recover.
you had a lot of time.
Yeah, so that's definitely a good advice to heed to when it comes to switching majors, because you don't want to be in your third year and be like, oh, this major probably isn't for me. That's like,
That was basically me.
oh,
But political science is a lot easier than computer engineering and those kinds of majors. So, I was able to finish it in like a year and a half.
we take those. You graduated on time. It's you,
Graduated quarter early.
let's go. You're right. You did graduate a quarter early. I forgot about that because spring was just online. That's why.
I
Unfor-
dodged spring.
you basically dodged the switch to online learning, which is, that's a blessing if we're being completely honest. But yeah, uh, I mean, yeah. So switching majors, that was it's good advice. We can move on to the next question, which is talk about your current job right now and how are you developing within it professionally.
So my current job is the kind of the same job I've had all throughout college.
Mhm.
I'm working in my uncle's small business. He does like accounting and tax preparation and like real estate management.
Mhm.
Um, what's it called? For like professional development and stuff like that. I think it's been like great
Mhm.
because it's like every year the responsibility gets more and more, becomes more and more.
Mhm.
So I've been able to do a lot of things that, you know, at such a young age as a like at such a young age professionally. So
Mhm.
I've been able to, you know, do a lot of like projects at work that I would have, you just can't do at college in college because you're not like helping run a business and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it's just been it's been really good learning and being allowed to make mistakes because it's just like I'm here learning.
Mhm.
Um, and I would recommend like trying to get a job that's like out of the box if you're in college
Mhm.
because it's kind of easy to work at like the library, under normal circumstances, or be like an RA.
Mhm.
It's like you're still in comfortable territory,
Mhm.
but doing like difficult internships, if you can get those, stuff like that, that's really cool, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, especially with like how things are like shaping up, it seems like it's hard to get those internships now considering our s- our current circumstances, but I could definitely see the appeal of like trying to get something that's out of the box to make yourself stand out in terms of like other people within your
Yeah,
field. And plus, I think like it's so cool that you were able to like get that kind of experience during your time in college and
and I
like
mean, like, I was fortunate because that is my uncle's business. It's like a family member,
mhm
and he did need help too, so it's just like right time, right place.
mhm
um I was able to help him like part-time during my college career.
mhm yeah. I'd also say it helped. I from what it seems like it would also help in terms of just like breaking the monotony of just like going to class and then going back and
Yeah,
doing like doing homework. Like it makes you, it also gives you the experience of being almost like being part of the workforce in some type of way.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm. And that's so cool. But
It's not as fun as it sounds.
yeah, it's not it's still work, but it seems more engaging than, looking at a textbook all day and then having to make notes from it. And if anything, it helps you in the long run since That's basically what you'll be doing outside of college or like when you graduate.
Yeah,
So it'll get you better prepared for the outside world.
the outside world.
That's outside college is kind of scary. I know because I'm about to graduate and it's like, oh no,
Yeah,
I
it's not fun. Just stay there.
yeah, just stay there. Yo, fifth year, yo, that's like just get take your time. But yeah, uh, I mean, just get that experience if you can during your time at college because it'll just help you out. Like you won't just be a fish out of water when you graduate and have to go job searching. You have
Hmm.
something that you could like market yourself around and make yourself a candidate for getting those jobs that other people might not be able to because of not having the experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. You get ahead.
Hmm. All right, cool. So, next question, kind of a different kind of more personal kind of question, but like, how have you been dealing with this like productivity during these times? COVID, uh, almost the end of the year, kind of like elections. Oh, the election.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but just like, how have you been self-caring, if that's like a better word for it, I guess.
Um, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna. This is kind of related to the last question,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna move it into this question too. So, for when you said like productivity and stuff like that,
Mhm.
uh, I over like quarantine since March, I was able to move like our whole company to the cloud. So like
Oh,
that helped a lot.
yeah.
Um, that makes a lot of things less stressful, and um, it's just easier to
Mhm.
work from home a lot of times
Mhm.
when we can't like work at the office or we don't want to.
Mhm.
Um, but self care wise, I do a lot more skincare than I used to do,
Ooh, interesting.
like face masks, nose strips. Um, yeah, I'm not as ugly anymore because of that.
Yo, shout out to Yo, I didn't know the power of face masks until college, but face masks, they hit different, as they say. But I think, yeah, I think it's hard considering that, like, most people still want to, like, uh, excel during the time of COVID, even though it's like basically the world is telling you, no, we're reverting back. We're like, no, I still want to succeed, I'm still
Mm.
living. So, I think it's important to take the time to like take care of yourself, whether it is like through face masks or just like other means, I guess.
Yeah, and I actually started playing video games again,
Mm,
like just because we're just in front of screens all the time.
yeah.
So that got me into video games again, which is which is great. Like it's a
Specific
great
games?
distressor.
Yeah, is there specific games that you've been playing? Like just could be just one.
I actually got back into Halo because I bought the Master Chief Edition on Steam,
Mm-hmm.
so that was cool.
I see. Uh, I love first person shooters as a distressor. It's just like the controls already, so it's honestly just like just relaxing, just
Yeah, we've
killing.
been playing Halo since we were like 12.
Yeah, honestly, you're gonna be prepared for when the new one comes out. Like who knows when? Because it got delayed. Unfortunate, but yeah, yeah. I think video games have also become like a bigger part of like how I de-stress also. I thought, to be honest, I thought I was gonna be watching more stuff because of COVID, but I ended up just going more into video games. So I think video games have a better balance of just like it's at least you're engaging with it rather than being passive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So, transition to the next question, which is pretty close to home. So as a whole, how has Fusion helped you during your time at UCI? And not even just that, but like outside of it, if there are any examples.
Um, Let me see. Like I would I would start by saying in general,
Mm-hmm.
uh, like let's look at this big picture. Just being part of a club as a college student gave me the college like experience. I don't think I would have gotten it
Mm-hmm.
without being in any club at all, let alone Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm fortunate for that. Uh, but Fusion specifically, it's done like so many things for me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I went all the way to the top. I went to presidency.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I feel like I got myself, I got all the benefits I could get
Mm-hmm.
out of Fusion. Everything from friendships to just filling up all my free time that would have not been used productively because I was a stupid college student. Um, to I already said friends, but I'll say friends again. To the leadership skills,
Mm-hmm.
you're a college student that doesn't know about leadership, and then now you're running things and like uh, curating people's experiences at the end of their Wednesday night, stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that responsibility is a really good pressure, I think,
Mm-hmm.
especially in college. It's like such a different change of pace from your classes. Um, yeah, it's like you're teaching a class. It's like you're a TA or a professor in
Mm-hmm.
Fusion, but uh, you're like doing fun activities and stuff.
Yeah. I definitely feel that.
It's fun.
I think this is something we could both say, but like even though both of us aren't even engineers, and like fusion is like geared around scientists and engineers, even despite that there's just so much to like learn being part of fusion. And not even that, just like if you are part of board, you do just learn like all the basic stuff that you need in any career, which is like you know you leadership skills. You also learn how to work as a team. You have responsibilities that are outside of your classes, so like
Hmm.
yeah. So basically this which whatever major you are, you just learn a lot just being part of fusion. So I think it's a great club to be part of. And if that wasn't the biggest what is that advertisement to join board in the upcoming quarters, I don't know what is. So yeah, in fact, instead of that, you could also intern and then join
Ooh,
board. So if y'all are interested in becoming interns, we will be letting you guys in during winter quarter. So yeah, but yeah, I guess I mean the next question we kind of like already got into, but I guess let's see how it's working. I guess as you I get okay, let's rephrase it. You said that if you were able to get like a job like during your time at UCI, like you should like take it, like something outside of UCI, right?
hmm.
Like that's what you were focusing on. I guess question I have is um God. Question I have is, do you think there are like specific jobs that like that would stand out to you as like a person, like in terms of working outside of just like, working at the library at UCI and all that stuff?
Yeah. Um, Outside of even your like the first thing we can think of is like your major's intern
Mhm.
opportunities.
Mhm.
So everyone is going to apply to be specifically like interns for all the STEM majors.
Mhm.
But I think if you try to just get internships every summer, um, which is probably what most people do in your major, I don't think you're kind of you're casting a wide enough net and
Mhm.
attempting to experience all what's out there.
Mhm.
Um, it doesn't hurt. I think it'll help uh, if one summer, for example,
Mhm.
people focus on trying to get a job that is not just their major.
Mhm.
It could be like some service industry job,
Mhm.
which most students already get. Um, but I think stuff that's like tangentially related to your major is just as good. So, like, for example, um, if you're, like a mechanical engineer,
Mhm.
um, and you either can't get a mechanical engineering internship, or you don't want to,
Mhm.
maybe applying for internships or jobs, like super low level entry level jobs for like um other types of management that's related to mechanical engineering, like construction,
Mm, mhm.
or some sort of like non-profit,
Yeah.
like you know charity house, stuff like that, where you're doing like administrative work. Maybe it's not as, engineers, they like to tell us that they're always engineers, but it's like I think it's a really good experience to, learn other stuff.
Mhm.
Because, when you're an engineer, the people who you're talking to are all going to be the other types of people.
Mhm.
They're not just going to be the people on your team in the company you're working for example.
Mhm.
So, if you're lucky enough and you get that opportunity, I think that that's like great to like seize that opportunity.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I know that was a really long-winded answer to your question, and I didn't even give you a specific job,
Mhm.
but I hope you get what I mean.
No, no, for sure. No, I totally understand. I mean, like, yeah, I think it would also help in terms of just like it gives you a better like overall like perspective on like your field, because like
Yeah,
we tend like within our major we tend to be like okay, really focused within our major. But if you work in something that's tangentially related, as you say, you could possibly make your own perspective more wider, and that in itself will
yeah,
help you.
yeah.
Like, I have a habit of just being like, okay, I'm a film major, so I should get like a film internship. But then there's like a wide range of things that like film encompasses, like TV, or there's like other kinds of media. So it's
Hmm.
like I mean the major itself is called film and media studies, so it's like it's not just film itself that I should be focusing on. So I could definitely see where it's like,
And even like if you get a internship or like an assistant position in the accounting department of this film company,
hmm,
that's still like close enough to your major. Like
yeah,
you're one step away. A promotion is going to be somewhere where you might want to work.
hmm,
So like I don't think you should ever like worry about your first job or your first couple of jobs, because like you're not supposed to get it right away, are you?
hmm.
Like I don't think so.
Yeah, like I don't think most people's first jobs end up being their only job that they get. I think like in
Yeah.
rare cases, probably, but like,
Well, like if you get out of college and you graduate as an engineer, and your first job is like high paying, exactly doing the stuff you pictured you'd be doing, like that's great.
hmm,
You won. But not everyone's going to be able to do that.
hmm,
I think a lot more people are going to get a job in something related, and then they're eventually going to work their way into something that they would rather that they want to do that they majored in,
Mhm.
just because like there's just so many jobs available all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a that was a great response, not gonna lie. Just, get something that's tend or like somewhat related, but also could help you in the long run in terms of looking for like
Hmm.
potential jobs outside of when you graduate. Cool. So all right, we have our final question, which is a staple for this podcast.
Oh,
What's your plan now, and what's your biggest goal that you wanna hit at the moment or complete? I guess is a better word.
um, my biggest goal, like in my life, career
Uh,
wise, or what do you mean specifically?
I mean, we could do career wise. I mean, like in your life, that's kind of like yeah, yeah.
It's like,
I guess in your career would be better in this case.
um, in my career, so I guess it would be to, I don't want to say make more money,
Hmm.
but I kind of want to say that because I don't really make any meaningful amount of money right now.
Okay,
um, I guess that's like a out of necessity.
I see. I mean, like
But
money's how the world works, unfortunately.
yeah, but a cooler answer would be I'm also working on like a startup company too with one of
Ooh.
my friends, and
o-
that's pretty cool.
Okay.
But we're still like we haven't made a lot of progress.
I mean,
So related to that, my biggest goal right now is to learn programming. That's what
mm-hmm.
I've been spending like a lot of time post grad on.
I
After
s-
work,
I see.
I I learn, and coding is fucking hard.
Dude,
Oh, sorry, am I not supposed to curse?
so it's fine.
Uh,
I
dude, it's
totally agree.
hard. I understand the comp sci majors and why their lives sucked during college. This isn't fun.
It's a
I mean,
grind.
it's fun. It's cool when you make stuff and it works,
Hmm.
but like, dude, my eyes hurt
Yeah,
all the time.
it sucks even more considering that like their work the work that they do and like I would think entertainment is always in the same area where it's like it's always on the computer, so it's like
Oh yeah,
God.
you can't distinguish like fun time from work time anymore because you're like, I open the same screen every day.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, but I I respect the grind of learning
So yeah,
coding.
those are my goals. They're like everywhere.
Hmm.
It
I mean,
starts with
like
the money though, because we're poor here.
honestly, especially with times right now, money we ain't earning that much for sure. But
At all.
at all. To put it bluntly, yes. But yeah, I guess that was a that was an interesting response, I would say.
What are
Uh,
your goals? Tell
what
us
are
about you.
my goals?
Tell us about you.
I mean, biggest goal, of course, is to graduate. 2021. I want my face to be on a PowerPoint slide. Uh,
Other
uh,
than graduate, that's the boring
other than
one.
graduate, I mean, like, I guess if we're looking like way into it, like I would just want to be part of like I want to be a movie writer. I don't want to specifically like write my
Ooh.
own movie, but more like I would want to work with like a small group of people and do like a short film, like something that like
Oh,
we would
so
submit
very
in.
something.
I mean, like I like writing, so I think that's like a bigger like out there goal as of right now. And I've been low key practicing script writing on my free time. So
what genre do you like
what
to write in?
I think for like my first project, I would honestly want to do a documentary kind of thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I mean the biggest goal is like maybe do something in terms of like like talking about like a person in like Japan, considering that I'm also taking Japanese and all that stuff.
Hmm.
But that's a That's a lot. But I would hope to get there one day. And even if the documentary isn't about like someone in Japan, just making a documentary in itself would be like a big accomplishment in my eyes. So yeah,
Yeah, documentary. Wait, do a documentary on fusion.
oh, could I get funding for that? Anyway, man, Sammy, you speak to me. You speak you speak to the right parts of me. Anyway, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in for today's podcast. Once again, thank you, Sammy, for being the second guest of our ongoing project, which is the Fusion Podcast. Is there anyone you would want to shout out before we end it?
You guys should have Dom on next.
Oh, oh, you're called. I see.
Yep.
All right, I'll keep
She
that
has
in
a lot
mind
to talk about.
for sure. And considering we're both fellow film majors, I could see it.
Exactly. You
Oh
guys are
my
gonna
god,
vibe.
we're gonna vibe. It's gonna be an hour long special. Nah, for sure. All right, cool. As for you all watching, hope you guys have a wonderful day and hope you guys continue to watch this project grow. And see you guys for the next installment.